So this is a real historic, important video. The Wattis curse. The Wattis curse. A snowball's chance in hell. So Weber loses again. The Wattis curse. You know, this legendary turnaround from the most corrupt football program in the United States, and nobody knows like I know. Nobody knows like I know. Nobody. I was given 2 months to live. Almost 10. I'm in a 10-year program. I was working on a PhD at the Stewart Library. The Stewart Library, the Elizabeth D. Shaw Stewart Stadium, is the only football stadium named after a woman. Her $750 million endowment left here in 1975 when Utah Construction merged with General Electric. They built the reactors at Fukushima, Japan. At Chalk River, the first nuclear reactor, this is who built them. Wattis. E.O. Wattis, when he got the contract to build Hoover Dam, died of leukemia 3 days later. I was working on my PhD, me and Edward Abbey, at the Stewart Library right there. His wife from Kaysville here died of leukemia, the golf coach right here. So I'm walking after the game right over there, and I look over there and I says, I wasn't sure, but I just says, "You're Jay's wife, right?" "Yeah." She looked right at me and she says, "You're a lymphoma survivor, huh?" "Yeah, so are you." "I'm an AML leukemia survivor. AML de novo, OS. With a marker of 44, unsurvivable. Went in the bone marrow transplant on 11/11/11. The Wattis curse. Jay Hill, what he's been able to do here is one of the, well, it's the greatest sport. I talked to her. I says, I knew what this program was. I stood with Dr. Hanley when he did the interview right here. I'm standing with, I used to work for Dr. Hanley when they blackballed me. They're a chance of turning this corrupt, losing program around. Bruce Hanley, who was a, All-American football player on this field. He donated his brain to the NCAA for brain injuries. I spoke at his wake. I worked for him. He was an ass, by the way. Fuck, don't even get me going, but snowball's chance in hell. That's what I call Jay. Jody Sears, coach here, was the worst coach in sports history. I think he still coaches. Wins and losses, look it up. Anybody's coached more than 10, 15, the worst, losing his program in history. The stadium, Jamie Martin, not even your top 20 greatest players that play here, but they're ignorant. They blackball people. What about Watt? The Wattis curse, no Watt. Yeah, he won 2 championships basketball, but let's talk about Trevyn Smith. The Wattis curse. They will never win here, never. Not Jay's fault. Recruiting young players. Josh Davis didn't play yesterday. So Josh is from the same town as Trevyn Smith. Ron McBride, when he was here, had it going on pretty good. Jay comes from the University of Utah. This is the best kept secret in all football. Is this division of, they play a real tournament. Salukis beat what? Didn't Walt Frazier play there? Dogs beat. They kept fighting. I'm sitting right there, and you can see the kid. They're down 21-7. Looks like they're going to get routed. He's over there yelling at the players, "Do your fucking job." One of the DBs, "Do your fucking job. Do your fucking..." They would not go away. They would not give up. Live by the Hail Mary sword, die by the Sarabine. The Wattis curse. You don't think it's real? You ask Damian Lillard, up by 20 points at halftime in the Big Sky Championship game. Oh, he lost. Johnson never missed a free throw or field goal in that game. After the game was interviewed, I had an out-of-body experience. I'm trapped here. Yeah, I was working on a PhD. I'm born and raised here. Been here my whole life. You will never win until you put Trevyn Smith's name. Trevyn Smith, all-time leading rusher in the history of this school. Oh, Josh will break it, but that's saying a lot. Wildcat Morris, NFL legend. He's from here, born and raised here, right out by me. That's how the name, they used to be called the Weberites. John Weber, something rotten in the non-Denmark. Kevin Blanche, that Danish boy. Vincent Hansen, who saved my life. That Danish philosophy. Fimbo Peterson, LDS East 8. The golf coach got leukemia the same time as I did, died here. Freaking African American Studies got AML leukemia, died here. I have AML de novo OS. There's no surviving it. Vincent Hansen, whose father and brother both died, so I'm trapped. I go into the Wattis and I do my... I went to the Wattis Art School at 16 years old. Yeah, 16. That active art Joel Strong taught me. This is important. She's a leukemia survivor. A snowballs. We love Jay Hill's the best thing that happened to this university since Clyde Cooley, since Wildcat Morris. Weber. What he's done here, I had a talk with the guy. She says, yeah, we knew it was bad. We had no idea the black hole. Sex for grades. They got the death sentence. Not only corrupt, losing us. Jody Sears was the worst coach in sports history. Oh, what a dirt bag. Oh, Ron Price, when he came here, the best player who ever played on this field, Scott Shields. He kicked, he played defense, he played off of his long tenure in the NFL, but what he did on this field. Second best, Wildcat Morris. Third best, Lee White. Yeah, that Lee White from the New York Jets has a Super Bowl. He was a legend. I mean, I go back that far, but they don't give a fuck. Trevyn Smith. So, 3 years after playing, he's got 4 kids, good Mormon boy. This started out as a Mormon university, by the way. Weber State was a private. Fawn Mckay. Ben Lomond Peak. Fawn Mckay. Mckay from the Mckays. Yeah, that Fawn Mckay. 16-year-old graduate here. I went to Weber High too. Graduated here so young. I mean, blackballed like they did her. Until you put a statue of Fawn Mckay at the Weber State Library, the greatest historian in U.S. history, the greatest female historian in world history, the greatest female writer in U.S. history, maybe in world history, something right in front of the Stewart Library. Hoffman, I used to talk to him all the day when he did his work in the Stewart Library. So did Ed Abbey, so did Mark Hoffman, so did Melvin Dumar, forged Howard Hughes' will in that library. Kevin Blanche, the infamous, the famous. Me and Ed Abbey, he never finished his either, did he? What happened? They could have paid for it. They didn't. I saved their MBA program. I saved it. #1 school business in the United States when I taught there. But environmentalism, the anti-nuclear, here in the belly of the beast, this is who built it. I got leukemia. Hit by a freight train. AML de Nouveau OS. I know Vincent Fimbo since I was a little kid. Right here. Grew up here. Vincent Hansen, Blanche Plaster, and Blanche Hasser. He known me since I was a kid. They sent me home with hospice. He says, no. They crawled up on my hip. A San Diego girl and got in my hip. I shut down Senate Offrey while I was fighting with cancer. I fucking killed Blue Castle. Fucking my dead tide pulled from the landscape to the library. Over and over and over again, my friend. Trapped. My routine. So I do my work on the university. I hike here. I hike here every day through this university. Or I'm in California on the fucking beach. Or I'm in Vienna, Austria. Or I'm in the streets of New York City fighting back the people that gave me cancer. Given 2 months to live. Trevyn Smith becomes distraught, has a heart attack and stroke. Has a stroke. Fuck the NCAA. Radio signal right there. That's what's left of it. I'm in the bone marrow transplant in these Border Regions rats. I used to do the play-by-play. I did the play-by-play in basketball for the radio station, football. I'm in the end zone right there where he caught that ball in the main game. Fucking freezing my ass off full of cancer. I couldn't feel my feet for 2 feet. So they got upset then. The Wattis curse. Asked Damian Lillard. Never played an NCAA tournament. Asked Ruben Nemhard. Missed the front end. Asked Dave Sakowitz. Fucking these legendary basketball heartbreaking games. The heartbreaking teams. You know, the blocked field goal. Freaking pushing the back. I mean, God. We're going to break this fucking curse. We're going to break this fucking curse. He's at the homeless shelter in Salt Lake, Trevyn. Cops pick him up on some bullshit, ridiculous warrant. I mean, this kid's a beast. Do not kid yourself. I don't know if he fought back, what it was. But the Salt Lake City police, jailers, beat him to death in a jail cell on 4th of July, 2019. I was walking up the street. My car broke down. I walked. Clear from my house. I walked. That's 10 miles. To do the game on Damian Lillard's alumni game, and I'm walking, there's a paper there. I didn't know that he died. And there's the Ogden Standard exaggerated, and I looked at it and I'm like, oh, Trevyn Smith beat to death in jail cell. Until you put his fucking name up there in the Ring of Honor. Scott Shields, Wildcat Morris, but until you put Trevyn Smith's, where was the NCAA then? Where the fuck? Simple. The NCAA. Give all college athletes mental health care, physical insurance for life. All of them. Fuck the NCAA. Jay Hill's a gem. We love that guy. So is his wife. Fantastic. Best thing to happen to this university since Kevin Blanche. Since Fawn Mckay. Until I see a statue of Fawn Mckay in front of the Weber State fucking library The greatest fucking female. Until I see it, all men know my history. You will never win. You will never fucking win. Dogs beat cats. Best kept secret. I sit right there as it looks over the going dry Great Salt Lake again, all my historic work. I walk this campus every day. I do my work. A lot of people still love me here. A lot of people hate me because I stand up for the beast. The nuclear energy crime city at the water. Weber State, the #1 undergraduate fucking program in the country. When I graduated there, when I taught there. Supply chain oligarchy. R.C. Willie's, Warren Buffett come in and bought it. Don't go see the Dalai Lama. Chinese oligarchy. They go from #1, 9 years in a row. We beat Wharton. Speaking of spring football, USFL. I'm the Philadelphia Stars. The Oakland Invaders. That was Bobby Hebert to Carter. Remember in spring football, Michigan Panthers, and then they went to Oakland Invaders. Lillard's from Oakland. The Oakland Invaders. I don't know. I'm the Philadelphia Stars. I'm that offensive line. Calvin Bryant, the greatest football team you never heard of. This is the greatest turnaround in sports history. I told her that. Name one better. I told Jay's wife that last night. Jay Hill's a legend already. What he's done here, but we got to break this fucking curse. The Wattis fucking nuclear. This is the nuclear engineer who built the fucking Chalk River, the first nuclear accident. Fucking Chernobyl is third. I'll post this. You know, Chernobyl, right? We're how many hours ahead of Ukraine? 35 years it took down to take that back the USSR. The United States, over. Fukushima. Fuck, look everything that's happened. It's all coincidence. Dead tide pulls at your feet. It's a cult. The Wattis curse is real. You know, this great legendary football. Let's break this fucking curse. We can do it. We can do it. How did they do it? Won it by jet stream 2. The greatest catastrophe. Floor. I get the buses from out of state coming out of here with floor buses. This is floor construction right here. Who's floor? New Scale, Little New Reactor from Hell. They're the nuclear energy crime syndicate. The Idaho State Bengals get on the buses in their floor buses. That's Idaho National Lab that are testing these little nuclear reactors that Utah is funding. Us downwinders. Fucking us leukemia victims. But don't fight back, Kevin. In the LDSE State Bone Marrow Transplant Center for how long? Given 2 months to live. Sent home with hospice twice. I'm trapped. I'm in a 10-year program. And I'm kicked off. Mike Lee kicked me off Medicaid. You know, this university, I've been here. I shook Bobby Kennedy's hand right over their promontory towers in fucking 1968. I've been here the whole fucking time. Born and raised here. Working on PhD. So this is my routine. Let's do this and I'll show you how I do it. I hope the camera can keep going. So, how to survive. That's a 1% survival bracelet. The survival rate of what I have is pretty well 0. It's almost impossible. I'm in a 10-year program. I know that. Kimbo, I was too sick for transplant. I'll show you how I do it. Why the can? It was invented here. Gotta go with that left, Harding. Jerry. So the Smiths over there, I go there every day, and when I'm here, and they usually discount juice for me. They know my situation. Well, Mike did. He's retired now, but they're good to me. There's some people that still try to help me. The hospital's got me kicked off Medicaid. Mike Lee kicked, but Vincent still works with me. You know, I got devastated economically. $1 million treatment. So I get my juice, I hike, I get real thirsty. Usually carrot juice or beet juice, and I chug it. Do it every day. A lot of carrot juice. I cheat once in a while on my routine. I stay spiritual. But the key is I fight back for what's right. I use my dynamic atomic nuclear mind. I was a BIS student here, honor student at 16. I graduated Weber High 698 in a class of 699 when I was already a student. And I hate early college. I did it. Don't do it. Was not ready for it. You know, I was too young. But I've been here the whole time, and I've watched it be this incredible, great we to me. You will never win. You will never win here. I mean, they win. It's a great program. Until you put Trevyn Smith Wildcat Morris and Scott Shields in that Ring of Honor. First on Trevyn Smith. Fuck the NCAA. You give players 100%, especially football players, but all college athletes, mental health care for life, NCAA. Can't be a one-way street, bunch of oligarchs just robbing. The state taxpayers pay Jays. Fuck the University of Utah. Kyle Whittingham, the most overrated coach in U.S. history. God, he never won anything. Great player. I like him, good guy, but you don't win. And that's professional football. This is a whole other animal. Give them health care for life, mental and physical. All college athletes. Until I see a statue of Fawn, Mckay, in front of the Weber State Stewart Library. Yeah, her and I both Weber High. Her and I both early college students at Weber State. Her and I both student professors. Her and I both blackballed. I get rid of the signal. Fuck the NCAA. Well, I'm in the bone marrow transplant. They never pulled it off. I did the play-by-play for here for years off and on. I watched this turnaround. It's the greatest turnaround in sports history. Let's finish the fucking job. It's like fighting cancer. So that's why I'm here. 10 years. I'm coming up on it. I'm coming up on October 13th. I went to the bone marrow transplant on 11/11. Vincent Ogden Clinic, right there. That's where the G Event Center is. That's my family. That's them who saved me. Those Ogden High boys. I hope I was nice to you when I coached when I was a kid, Dr. Connors. The chemo wore at my valve. I had open heart surgery. My gallbladder ruptured 2 years ago. Mike Lee kicked me out Mckay right before the surgery. You better hope you were nice to me, Kevin Blanche. I'm going to hold your heart in my hand for 6 hours. So it made me sweat it out. Then after, he says, I got to tell you, I always had a great deal of respect for you. Always be nice to the young guys and the young girls, because they grow up being men and women. Quickly. You will never break this curse. Oh, and they have the players to do it, and they have the team. I set up for years. Until you start recruiting local players. Both the Vigil boys wanted to play here. Jody Sears wouldn't let them. Oh, they're both in the NFL. There's about 8 players from here, right in Ogden, right in this region, that Weber, Jody Sears is a piece of shit. So is Graybill. So is Bovey. Don't even get me going. Mike Price, what a piece of shit. We saw that with the 2 hookers when he's going to go out. But best thing that ever happened to Alabama is he got caught with those 2 corrupt prick. What he did here, you know, McBride, I'm not a fan of McBride's. He beat the hell out of fucking Trevyn Smith. All-time leading Russian. That's saying a lot, Wildcat Morris. Dr. Hurst is still alive. I talked to him over the head walking. He drew the mask up. That's an honorary PhD he has. Oh, I've earned mine then some. Yeah. What's his name? Says, Kevin, when you get the first Nobel Prize from Weber State in history, I says, first one. First one. First one. You mean the first 4. Wattis curse is real. Chernobyl, 35 years. Fukushima, the greatest crime in human history. 2011, all coincidence. The greatest, first you hypothesize knowledge, then you do the field work. Oh, this matters. Sport matters. Ask Kobe. You know, I always loved that guy because he was young. He says, I'm not going to let the NCAA exploit me. I'm going to the NBA now. But Dick Motta coached right there in that building. It's the old Swenson gym. Legend. Yeah, that Dick Motta. That legendary program in there. When he won the NBA title with them Bullets, he made the average NBA player, Joey Bean Bryant, Kobe's dad, made less than 3 times the average working class American. From hard hats to crowns, I call it. Kobe, that money got him killed? Oh, yeah. They make hundreds of thousands of fucking times now. I mean, Damian Lillard, I talk to him all the time. I mean, I did his alumni game. That should have hundreds of thousands of views. On 8/24, Kobe. That was before Kobe died. Damian, go show him how to shoot that half court. They have a half court shooting contest at his alumni church. Damian, I talked to him. He's right there in front of me. I said, Damian, go show him how. Walks on the court, first shot, boom. They make 18,000 times. For every one Damian Lillard off this campus, there are hundreds of Trevyn Smiths. Give them health care. We love the sport. We love the athletes. The Wattis curse. Let's break it. Jay Hill's the man to do it. We love that guy, and hats off to you Salukis. Boy, talk about fighting cancer. Stayed on. They didn't give up, did they? They refused to give up. Dogs beat cats. Dogs beat cats. What a fucking gem. We'll see this fall. You know, Josh didn't play in that game. He's the heart and soul of this fucking team. He's a gem. I love that kid. Me and him are friends. So, by the way, Tron Johnson, I was doing the play-by-play right there. My little grandson snuck on the field when they didn't win a game. Tron picked him up. He got onto the track. The cheerleaders used to babysit him. When I would do the play-by-play right there with the central line, and that's why I told him his little sister has leukemia. She got sick just 2 weeks ago. She's 4. She's in primaries, and so they've sent her home, and so he's quarantined. Everybody's asking me, where's the grandsons? They're quarantined, leukemia. That's what he said. Yeah, well, they didn't have their good luck charm. I said, yeah, you. I remember when they beat, the only game they won, home game, when Jay first came here, was against, or that was maybe before Jay, Sam Houston. You know, that's because, he says, that's because I was here. You know, I knew Toronto was going to be all that when he played here. I mean, he'll be put Trevyn Smith's name up there until you do, and when you do, and Fawn, Mckay's statue in front, right down there at the Stewart Library, you will break this fucking curse. Let's break it. Stay tuned.